Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have our very first look at one of the most requested ships ever on my channel. So without further ado, let's get to the captain. I use Arleigh Burke on my American destroyers. I know that is a little bit of a difference from most people probably using Halsey, but I use Arleigh Burke myself. I also run Eric Bay and Jersey Swirsky. Now, obviously, we're running Quick Fix. We're running Look at Me Now. We're running 1,000 Cuts. We're running Sidestep, and we're running Unstoppable. He's a what is it? 12 level 1? Yeah, no, rank 11 and a level 1 legendary. All right, so let's look at our loadout. We've got Aiming Systems Mod 1. We've got Propulsion Mod 2, and we've got Concealment System Mod. What does all this mean? Well, it means that you get some good stuff. Now, I am running all of the boosters, so keep that in mind. I usually do on my my premium ships, not always during the showing you guys, but since I bought this ship and I'm gonna have it forever, I've already kitted it out with all the boosters because I have a lot of boosters. Anyway, flag, community contributor flag, and the camo is the permanent camo that comes with the kit. Now, right now, the kit is actually on sale, so if you want to pick it up cheaper, then that's good. Now, first thing I noticed when I got this ship was it's got a heal. It's got two repair parties, which is, I mean, it's not an amazing heal, but it's a heal on a destroyer. So, that's pretty nice. It's also got 16,400 hit points, so another good thing. Hit the artillery, it's got 5 127mm guns, nothing unusual there, but it's an American destroyer. It is mainly a gunboat. Firing range of 11.7 kilometers, reload time in just 3.4 seconds. 180-degree turn time is where the American destroyers really excel, the 5.3 seconds for turrets to turn 180 degrees. Like, they snap from one side to the other, no problem. HE shell damage, 1,800. With a chance of 5% chance to set fires. Maximum AP shell damage, 2,100. For torpedoes, you get one quintuple launcher. You launch 5 torpedoes in one salvo, 533 millimeters. They reload in over 2 minutes, and the 180-degree turn time is only 6 seconds, so you don't have to worry about it being in the wrong place. It is centrally located as well. Maximum damage, 16,633, so you don't want to be taking any of these. But because they are slow torps, they only have a 55 knot speed. They're actually pretty undetectable. Like, you don't see these until they're 1.1 kilometers from you, unless of course you're running hydroacoustic or something along those lines. But they only have a 6.4 kilometer range as well. So yeah, you got to get up close and personal to use these torps, and that goes into why I choose all the concealment that I can. Maximum speed is 39.1 knots. Turning circle is 620 meters, and the rudder shift time is 4.3 seconds. All pretty decent. I really like that 39 knot maximum speed without the engine boost. You hit that engine boost, you're going over 40 knots. Concealment, you have 5.5 kilometers, which is the best that I've been able to get it to. Now, my guys aren't completely maxed out, obviously, but that's pretty good. 5.5 kilometers for a gunboat is really nice. It means you're going to be able to sneak up on a lot of destroyers and unleash all the DACA on them. 3.1 kilometers by air, 2 guaranteed as usual, and detectability while firing in smoke is 2.6 seconds. Overview, extended smoke, increased smoke screen duration, nimble aim, and short range torpedoes. That's your quick look. Now, the kit, a Fletcher-class destroyer that has powerful anti-aircraft armament. So another good thing about this is, as you can see, it's got AA guns everywhere. And of course, as with most low-caliber American guns, they are also dual-purpose guns. So you've got significant AA for a destroyer. Now, she was also high speed, obviously. That was the other thing. And of course, I mean, it's an American ship, so it looks amazing. And I like the understated camo too. Nothing crazy, just nice and just a nice camo. Anyway, over the course of 1944 and 1945, she was modernized to receive enhanced AA armament due to demounting one of the 2 torpedo launchers. Entered service in 1943, and there were 175 of them in the series. That's a lot of boats. So, let's take a look at her real quick. Give her the once over. As you can see, she's a good-looking ship. And you can see the extra AA in between the stacks where the smoke or the other torpedo tube normally would be. And she is a good-looking boat. I do like her. So, without further ado, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so a lot of you guys have asked for this over the entire time that my channel has existed. I've never owned it until now. And I bought it specifically because you guys said I should. Or at least you wanted to see me play it, so here we are. Now, you guys know I'm not the best destroyer player in the world, but I can get out there and I can handle my own. And that's what we're going to have to do, because my team on this far side, closest to me, is not going to be of much help. Now, that being said, the rest of the team did a fantastic job on their side as far as controlling the map and all of that goes. Now, this is a domination match. Now, normally speaking, when you're in a domination, you want to get in and take capture points. I'm the only destroyer on my team's side. So, in theory, I should be the one going after the caps. That isn't what I did in this, and it could have cost my team the game. But I just happened to run into their entire team. For the most part. Not their whole team, but a lot of them. And there's going to be a lot of interesting moments that you guys are going to probably be shaking your head at, because some of it's just too stupid. You'll see what I mean when we get there. I'm sure you'll recognize it. But yeah, first things first, we're steaming out here. As you can see, we're doing over 40 knots because the engine boost is active. We're going to get over here and try to do as best we can. There's a couple things that I need to tell you guys about this thing. First of all, the DACA is real. Anytime you get a Fletcher or any of these American gunboats, they reload very, very quickly. Now, they're not the most effective high explosive in the world. They don't set very many fires, and their armor piercing, while it is good for a destroyer, it's still only 127 millimeters. So it's very good, but at the same time, it's not something that you really need to worry about. Most of the time, people are going to be spamming high explosive at you in order to set fires. The amount of damage that you get from the high explosive is basically non-existent, and we get detected by their moss. It just so happens that both of the destroyers in this match are running right into each other. Now, unfortunately for this moss, I have backup. Now, this guy behind me in this light cruiser is just going to rip this moss apart. And you can see he knocked out his engine, which is causing me to miss a few shots here. And so I have to reacquire the target. Get my aim back. Sometimes I miss a few shots, all right? I get my blood pumping and I miss. But yeah, that Wichita I said it was a light cruiser. It's a heavy cruiser. But the Wichita, nonetheless, absolutely nukes the moss, getting rid of him quite early. Now, I just popped my smoke screen with the anticipation of being detected, but the moss had already popped his smoke screen, so I kind of wasted my smoke screen here. Now, the smoke screen for American destroyers is everybody's favorite smoke screen because it's extremely long duration and it's got a lot of pulses as well. And you can max it out doing other things as well. You can get these even better, but you get 2 smokes. They are long duration and they have a lot of pulses. Now, why is a lot of pulses very good for a destroyer? Well, first of all, if you're going to be sitting in your smoke screen and you're shooting a lot, there are going to be torpedoes heading into said smoke screen, and if you get a lot of pulses on your smoke screen, then you can make the smoke screen really long. In other words, making it difficult to torpedo because you could be anywhere in that smoke screen. Now, the people that have torps left on this team are few and far between. We got a Gneisenau over there. We got a York out here to my front. So they're there. Now, obviously, I'm going to miss a lot of shots here. I can't actually see the guy's ship very well, so I'm just guessing where I need to actually hit, and we're missing a lot. But when you're firing as many rounds as you are, like, you're gonna eventually find them, and when you do, you're gonna start hitting. Now notice all of my rounds are shattering. This is what I'm talking about with the American high explosive. Other than the Wichita and the high explosive from, say, Cleveland or Baltimore, the high explosive for the United States lines is not very good. Obviously, you can use them from the Iowa as well for a high fire chance. But if you're shooting high explosive out of your Iowa, I'm gonna disown you. But anyway, so you shatter a lot of shells. Now we are getting a few shots here and there that are hitting the superstructure, hitting squishy parts, and actually doing a little bit of damage. But what we're looking for is the fires. You can see 297 damage when they hit something and actually do damage. So it's not a lot. And we're just looking for the fires. Obviously, he's already damage conned. If we can manage to set a fire, we could start to actually take away some of this guy's health. Now, clearly, we've got people near me. My smoke screen's about to run out, so I stop firing the guns because there's a York with 210 millimeter guns closing in on my position, and that ain't somewhere you want to be. Now, with the American torpedoes, you've got to be very, very cognizant of the fact that anybody who thinks there's a torpedo in the way is going to have an eternity to get out of the way. They're slow. Real slow. So what you want to do is shoot your torpedoes and leave everybody that you target alone. Because if they don't know they're coming, they're not going to see them until they're ready to take them. And as you can see, they pack a punch. Now that we've got him with one torpedo and flooding, we know he just burned his damage con because we're not getting damage in the top right. So we're going to go ahead and start trying to shoot this guy. Now we've lost everybody on this side of the map with the exception of the battleship that's all the way in the back behind the island. So we've got to be careful. Now you'll notice if you're paying attention that there's another cruiser to my right at the edge of the map. Now Gneisenau finishes off the York, which is a huge thing for me, and I still have no idea that there is a cruiser behind me. I have zero idea. I'm just sailing away, firing my guns at this Gneisenau who's behind an island, and then I get hit in the rear, and I'm like, oh my god, there's a New Orleans behind me. That's not preferable. So what do? I disengage. I use, I'm fairly confident I use my heel here. Maybe I take another hit before I disengage. Yep, there it is. And there's the heel. So I've used my second heel. And heels for a destroyer is ridiculous. So that's something I wasn't expecting. But now that we've disengaged, anybody in their right mind would be like, all right, why would a destroyer suddenly just stop firing his guns in a gunboat? Because you're in torpedo range, sunshine. That's why. Now, obviously, this New Orleans probably are going to slow down a little bit. So we aim a little behind where the computer tells us to. I'm expecting him to slow down. Unfortunately for that New Orleans, he didn't get the memo. He does actually slow down, and this strike right here is one of the most beautiful I have seen on this planet from any American destroyer that I have played. Wait for it. Zoom in on the torps. Oh my god, he's gonna eat them all. Nope, he's only gonna eat like 3 of them, but that's all he needs to eat because that's all he can take. Devastating strike from full health to nothing, and then Gneisenau comes right back out, and he's gonna start dumping on me with secondaries and his main batteries, and we're gonna try to get out of here. We do the patented Spartan drift smoke. I've patented that. I don't know if anybody else does. But I use smoke 99% of the time. I use smoke as a get-out-of-jail-free card. I can be super aggressive, and the moment that I need to get away from somebody, I just turn as hard as I can, drop the smoke to get between me and the bad guy. Okay? And what that allows me to do is then come out here and catch you off guard. He thought I was just going to leave him alone. Unfortunately for him, that's not the case. Now, I'm not going to lie here. With this guy sailing this broadside to me, I should have switched to armor piercing. Because the armor piercing, still, with American armor piercing, you get improved penetration angles. So even though you're shooting 127 millimeter armor piercing, you can still do more damage with your armor piercing against a battleship than you can with the high explosive. But with high explosive, you have a chance to set fires. And we do set a fire. And now that we've got them burning, again, we should have switched to armor piercing. But I'm looking to see how long I can get my torpedoes out here. And you see, I don't listen to where the thing tells me I need to shoot. I go for where I think he'll be. Because I know he's probably going to turn. It would make sense, right? Clearly, we're not going to get 3 people to sail in a straight line while we're firing at them. That would be insane. But you can see he's actually doing a lot of damage to us, and unfortunately for us, he's going to knock out our torpedo tubes in the near future too, which is not preferable. But you can see he does a really good job of avoiding these torpedoes, getting out of there just in time. If we had fired where the game told us, we would have at least gotten 1 hit on him. And now that we are 6 kilometers away and he's giving us a broadside, we really need to switch to the armor piercing. Now, we don't have our damage con back, and we are in an all-out gunfight with this Gneisenauer. Who's going to win? I got 4,000 health left. He's got God only knows how much health left, but he's got more than I do. Okay, let's just put it that way. He's got more than I do. But with the amount of volume that I can put out, if he stays bow tanking me, he can win this. We've got him burning, so we've got an advantage there. But he gets another good salvo on me, and yeah, we're down to 1,200 hit points. Are we going to be able to finish this guy off in time? Come on, Spartan! Switch to armor piercing. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the armor piercing. Watch these shots. 693 is a much better hit than 300. Well, that was 347, of course. Why wouldn't it be? We finish him off, but unfortunately, he manages to get another shot off and finishes us off in the process, leaving this game in the hands of my team. Now, if you look at the caps, we have 3 caps to 1. We have 2 ships to 3. Anybody with half a brain can look at this and go, we have the lead. The only thing that they can do to win at this point in the match with under 4 minutes to go is to capture all of the bases simultaneously or kill you. Okay? We only have 2 people. They have 3. Our Odin, you see the battleship's last known position. And now you've got him spotted, and you're still trying to torpedo a Kutuzov instead of just sailing away. Why can't people just learn to stop trying to win harder? How many times does... Oh my God! That's what you get for torping. That Alabama just absolutely wrecked this Odin. And you can see I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit here. I'm begging this guy. I'm like, dude, just leave. And then he launches his torpedoes off the others. This Kutuzov is parked behind an island. You can't torp him. But it doesn't matter, because in this guy's mind, he's going to come around that corner and tempt fate. But he's not. And this Odin, who still has half his hit points, all he has to do is go away. Or at least, bare minimum, stay bow in. But he can't. In his mind, he just cannot comprehend not going broadside in front of 2 battleships. So we switch over to the Gneisenau, because I'm figuring at this point, clearly the Odin is going to die. I mean, the guy is making no effort whatsoever to survive. He is doing everything in his power to throw this match. So it's down to the Gneisenau. Now, the Gneisenau is in a great position. He's capturing yet another base, which is going to further increase the gap in score and make it impossible for the enemy team to win without killing them both. Which is good, because, like I said, Odin is not long for this world. Why is Odin not long for this world? Because he comes out trying to kill the Kutuzov again, and now is broadside to a Bismarck at point-blank range, and even the Bismarck can't miss you with that. So he's down to 5,000 health left, and he's in secondary range of the Bismarck, and inside 5 kilometers, those secondaries are going to be relatively accurate. Now, he is actively trying to avoid him now. I can't figure why it took him so long to figure that one out. But he is actively trying to avoid it. And to his credit, that Bismarck took quite a wallop at some point. So I'm assuming he at some point has run into some torpedoes, or at least bare minimum has been touched by him and the the guys now, but you can see he's on fire, and Bismarck finishes him off. Now, we finished the game with 98,000 hit points, 4 torpedo hits, 2 kills. Both of my kills were on cruisers in point-blank range because people are crazy. I don't understand it either. Honestly, if those cruisers had half a brain, they would have somehow managed to avoid those torpedoes. But, you know, far be it for me to interrupt the enemy when they're making a mistake. Now, right now, I am just begging this Gneisenau, stop trying to get your guns on target. Just sail away, man. Come sail away. Come sail away. Just get out. Don't do it. But he keeps opening himself up. There's only 30 seconds left. Unless something absolutely devastating happens, this Gneisenau is not going to lose. Unless something devastating happens. Luckily, he's up against the Bismarck, and the Alabama is so far out of play that he's got no chance whatsoever of affecting this particular ship. Other than maybe a hit here or there. But he's starting to cap a base, guys. 8 seconds left in the match, and suddenly the Alabama is starting to capture a base. And this just goes to prove that base control is everything in a domination. This guy almost got a solo warrior. Almost, but not quite. So, with that being said, I think we had a pretty solid game. 98,000 damage done. 1 devastating strike, 2 kills on cruisers, 2,400 base XP, not bad. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.